Okay, so my name is Narkis. I'm a social entrepreneur, and as of yesterday, I'm 26 years old. The biggest thing I learned this year is what I'm going to talk today. If you're self-fulfilling yourself, you're bettering the world. And I'll explain. So the social business I co-founded is called Zeze. It means this is it in Hebrew. We create social projects that create job opportunities for communities in need. All of our projects are financially sustainable and some are profitable and also are creative. When I say we, I mean hundreds of young people that are utilizing their natural skills and developing their skills while they create these social projects. So these people are not doing it altruistically only, they're also creating an internship while developing these social projects, and I'll give you an example. For example, this guy, Rafael, is passionate about video production, and he can create his portfolio while he creates social projects. So if you think about it, he's self-fulfilling himself while he creates social projects that are self-fulfilling communities in need. So I'll give you an example. One of our community members noticed that there's a lot of street musicians in the street of Tel Aviv. And we started researching, and we noticed that a lot of these musicians are very talented, and they had hard integration phase in the music industry in Israel. So we decided to unite them into a professional orchestra. We brought a musical producer, and we created performances across the country with Israel's top musicians, Mary Sacharov, Ehud Banai, etc. And these performances, over 100, not only give them a dignified income, it's not only a profitable social enterprise, it also enabled dozens of young volunteers to fulfill themselves and develop their expertise. Now, with the money of this social enterprise, we were able to create additional social businesses. For example, we created a printing factory. The printing factory gives jobs for women that used to be prisoners. And we also created summer camps that gives jobs to teenagers for rough neighborhoods and many more. Now, this has been a blast because I'm doing what I'm passionate about with people I'm passionate about, enabling other people to be passionate, and passion, cool. But I have to admit that I'm a recovering people pleaser. Before I founded Zeze, I used to be a person that only does things to please other people, to look successful, to look cool, blah, 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 and I was miserable. Now, I know it sounds funny that I'm calling myself miserable. It's a first world problem. I had education, I had a house, I had a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And how can I say someone that is not self-fulfilled is a miserable person? But I have to say that I think there's nothing more sad than to keep your passion in the closet. Now, if I'll take you into Maslow's pyramid of needs, he would disagree with me. He says physiological needs, safety and security, blah, blah, and self-esteem, and only after that you can be self-fulfilled. But after working with populations in need that don't have all these things, I can say that not only self-esteem can come before, it can actually help you gain the other sides of the pyramid, and it can increase it. And I want to give an example of the two most inspiring women I met in my life. The first one is... Wait. Belle from Beauty and the Beast. So Belle, if you know, she lived in a provincial village. She was pretty poor. She looked very strange to the people in her neighborhood. And she had an opportunity to marry Gaston. He's a handsome guy in her neighborhood. He could solve all of her problems. But she felt there is something more. If you remember, I want adventure and the great wide open. I want it more than I can tell. And she just felt there is something more. And she was willing to give up on her security and to go to a place that is not comfortable. And then she met, you say it can look like it's chauvinistic, but actually that's her path. For her, that's her self-fulfillment. We see him as a beast. But for her, she gave up on her comfort zone and she got and self-fulfilled herself. And that was her instinct. And I'll give another example from Disney. Ariel, which had all the perfect conditions. She was a princess living in the kingdom under the sea. But she felt it's pretty boring to have everything. And she wanted to have something more. And she felt that she can make it. And she decided she's going against her father. She's going to the unknown. And then she said the most feminist song I ever heard, which is, bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand. And there she goes, and she followed her path and her dream. Now, I'm using Disney's characters purposely because I think all these people, Nelson Mandela, all the people we look up to, are symbols. And in the end, you need to check, what about you? What are you passionate about? What is the thing in your life that if you're doing this thing, you feel that the time stops? You feel when you do it like your nature, like you're a rain. And I think that if you'll follow this thing, there's nothing better you can do in the world, even if this thing is investment banking. I really believe that. And I want to finish with my favorite quote. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it, because what the world needs is people who have come alive. And I hope all of us will notice, identify what it is, and go and be alive. Thank you very much.